You want your hair to get as curly as possible so that it can eventually lock up. And what curls do is curls will eventually... Hey, what is up guys? Welcome to another video. I'm Gunther the Great, and today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to start freeform dreadlocks. A lot of people are wondering, and there's a misconception about freeform dreadlocks. For anybody out there who's wondering, I'm starting my freeform journey right now. Now I'm going to be documenting this whole process, and there's going to be, dreadlock updates and everything like that outside of just regular uploads. And I'm really looking forward to this. I'm just going to see what my dreadlocks look and turn out to be over the time with allowing them to freely form. But we're going to get into the subject today of how to actually do freeform dreadlocks, because there is some miscommunication as far as people making videos, and then also just people don't know how to actually get them. So I'm going to break down how to get them, what's the best hair type in order to get them, and how do you maintain them if you have to maintain them. But you guys, before we get into that, I just wanted to mention that the Great Merch Season 3 recently launched last week. So I want you guys to go check out the website, maybe after this video, or you can go click on it now. But all the new merch is here. We have some really cool pieces out, and I just want you guys to check it out. And it means a lot to me because this isn't only a line to support the channel and for me to make videos and keep uploads, but for everyone just to enforce themselves or to promote being great or living a great lifestyle. And you guys will see all that on the merch, so make sure to go check that out. But let's get straight to the video. So guys, first things first, I just want to give you guys a quick update on what's going on with my hair. Then I'll explain everything that is happening, because a lot of you are looking at me like, dude, those are not dreadlocks. I know, dreadlocks take time. This is with any form of dreadlocks. For all of you guys who do not know, I actually had a set of semi-freeform dreadlocks before, but I actually started out with towel rub. If you don't know that method, I'll definitely link a video down below on towel rub. It's also known as sponge rub, and it's a really cool method to start out with, but there is certain hair types you want to definitely have to do that method, and I'll definitely link that video down below. You can go check it out, and also you can purchase the dread sponge, if you know what it is, on greatlocks.com, which I'll link that down below as well. And the dread sponge is actually the product of the day, and I'll mention that later on in the video. So let's look at my hair. You can see that my hair is super coiled up, and this is what happens if you wash your hair, don't comb through your hair, and don't run your fingers through your hair and everything like that. You want your hair to get as curly as possible so that it can eventually lock up. And what curls do is curls will eventually get frizzy and then they'll lock up, and that's more of the freeform process. But it does take time. So me going into the freeform journey, I know it's going to take a lot of patience, but at the same time, it's going to be enjoyable because I don't have to do maintenance, which gets me to my first subject. How do you start dreadlocks, which is the whole topic of this video. How do you start them? You literally just wash your hair, and that's all you do the entirety of the time. Some people do neglect dreadlocks, which is not even doing anything to your hair. Maybe just like getting it wet, but not washing it. Maybe doing rinses, but not actually washing it. Now, I'm not actually doing neglect dreadlocks because I prefer to wash my hair and just have my hair on a nice washing cycle so that my hair can build natural oils. But as you can see in these close-ups, you can see that my hair is a little frizzy, but what I'm trying to do actually is to eliminate all that frizz, so when these curls start to lock up, that frizz isn't outside of the actual, lock what's going to be taking place. And I'll take this, I have it like tucked behind my ear because I tuck my hair behind my ear to keep it on my face. But the ones in the front, you could see are coming in, and that's just a good sign. And it's really exciting. I was in the process of making a video of me going to explain it to my wife, but I haven't even explained it to her yet. I'm probably gonna make that video. If you guys want to see that video of me explaining me doing this nether hairstyle to my wife and see her reaction on it, comment down below you want to see that video, because it'll mean a lot to me, and it'll just let me know if I want to make that video. But overall, I'm really glad on how my hair is looking right now, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. And I'm being very particular in how I'm actually allowing these to freely form without doing anything to them. But you guys, let's go sit down and we'll talk more about on how to actually get these done. I actually just recently hung up this canvas that I painted a really long time ago, a little bit after the time I actually started my first set of dreads, which is pretty cool. I really like it. I just think it's a cool piece of art, and it's pretty interesting that I just hung it up yesterday, and how I'm starting this whole new journey. But how do you start freeform dreadlocks? Like I said, All you have to do is wash your hair and allow it to freely form. But for all of you out there thinking, I don't see how that's possible, you probably have a straight or curl pattern. Now, if you have a straight hair, if you don't know your hair texture, I'm gonna link a video down below that will show you what hair texture you have or what hair type you have, because there's hair types all the way from 1 all the way to 4C. So now that you got your hair type down, the best hair type to have in order to get freeform dreadlocks is obviously a tighter curl pattern, because a tighter curl pattern tends to lock up better. That's why you see a lot of people with coarse, thick hair that is very, very, very curly, typically 4C, will lock up way quicker than if you were to have straight hair. And I feel like this is the root reason why people despise straight hair dreadlocks. And I think anybody who has hair who wants dreadlocks should be able to get dreadlocks. So if you have straight hair, you can get them. There's methods to do it. Would I recommend freeform with straight hair? I wouldn't recommend it, but it is personal preference. If you want to actually do it that way, it's going to take a lot of time and it's going to take a long time, but you can do it. Just know that it's harder from 1 and it's easier from 4C. And that's the easiest way to gauge how long and how easy it is in order for you to get dreadlocks, freeform or not freeform. So when washing your dreadlocks, freeform or not freeform, I would definitely just recommend getting a shampoo that you enjoy using. A lot of people will tell you to get Castile soap or Castile, however you want to pronounce it, but they'll say get Dr. Bronner's or recommend Dr. Bronner's. I personally don't enjoy using Dr. Bronner's. Maybe I will in the future, but you definitely want to distill it and make it to where it doesn't clump up in your hair or get buildup. And it was just hard for me to avoid that, but you can definitely use Dr. Bronner's. I would recommend that. I'll go ahead and link that down below as well. But for me, I personally just use Dove shampoo. It's just any shampoo you can get from any store basically, and it's a shampoo that I like, and it washes out easy and it does what it's supposed to do. One thing I will tell you about freeform dreadlocks, and it may sound weird, but you want your hair to be completely dried out so that it can lock up. When it comes to locking up your hair wants to loosen up and you want it to contract. It's about expansion and contraction. What I mean by that is your curls, when you wash them, they expand. And when they dry out, they contract. And that whole process is your hair expanding and contracting. I'll show you a close-up and try to explain it as best as possible. Take this curl for instance. When it gets wet, it expands. And when it contracts, it finds ways to lock and clump up. Then it has its new way of locking or curling or forming. And then it expands again when you wash it again. Doesn't expand as much this time because it's already found ways to lock up. And then it contracts. And this is how freeform dreadlocks are created, from expansion and contraction. This is how any dreadlocks are created, honestly. But that is definitely the best way to explain it. But let's talk about the misconceptions with freeform dreadlocks. A lot of people think you can start freeform dreadlocks out with a method. That doesn't make it freeform dreadlocks. It makes it a methodized version of dreadlocks. We have people that start with twisting with gel. We have people that start with sponge rub, which is very misconceptualized in order to get freeform dreadlocks. Because freeform dreadlocks, let me restate it, is freely allowing your hair to form. And there are other methods like twist and rip, back combing, a lot of other popular methods, interlocking, and all of those are not forms of freeform, because freeform is actually a method in order to get dreadlocks. It's a standalone method. Now, is there maintenance that goes into freeform dreadlocks, you may ask? No, there is not a maintenance method that goes into it because they are freely forming. So to some, this is a huge relief, and to others, this is a big sigh because they want to maintain their hair. And if you want maintained dreadlocks, then I would suggest you to click out this video and go find one of my other videos of me explaining how to get dreadlocks with twisting the gel, towel rubbing, or anything like that. And let me tell you that all of these are actually going to be on the DREADLOCKS website. So you can go to DREADLOCKS.com and you can find all these tutorials on that website. It's on the videos page. But I feel like everything I said gave you a good representation and a visualization of how to get freeform dreadlocks. It's very simple, it's very easy, and I am really looking forward to taking you guys on this journey of mine because I have not combed through my hair in a couple of days, but I definitely want to start documenting it. I'll most likely start today, kind of just take a picture per day, see the whole transformation so you guys can see that with me, and I'm really looking forward to this. Because any of you guys have been watching me for a while, I started my dreadlock journey on this channel, like showing it, on my 5-month mark on the first set of locks. So I didn't get to show the whole beginning process of me towel rubbing, crochet hooking, and all these other methods and maintenance that I did on my hair. I didn't show all that because of the fact that I started too late. And I just want to show you guys everything that I'm doing with my hair so that you guys have all this to look back on, and then at the same time just some entertainment to keep you guys updated. Okay guys, like I mentioned earlier, I want to tell you guys about the product of the day. This can be found on DREADLOCKS.com, but it is the sponge, the dread sponge. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah guys, I will link the dreadlock sponge down below, and I don't want you to think that you can use the dread sponge in order to get freeform dreadlocks. I'm linking the dread sponge down below because a dread sponge gives the most freeform-like look without it actually being freeform, because it somewhat allows your hair to freely form because it takes on your natural curl pattern and enhances the curl pattern so that it creates the locks within the sponge. But if you want to see that tutorial, link to that's going to be down below along with the actual product. Make sure to go check that out and get yourself one if you want to start dreadlocks with a sponge. It's really easy. That's the way I started the first set of locks that I had, and it's just so easy to actually use it. You'll be surprised. But like I said, it can be found on DREADLOCKS.com along with all these other awesome products that you can find on there. And all these products typically have a tutorial on there as well, so you can see the product and a tutorial all in one location. That's the whole purpose of DREADLOCKS.com, because it's all of your hair needs. One thing I want to start implementing on this channel is answering you guys' questions. So I'm going to take a question from the comment section and I'm going to read it and answer it right here. Okay, I got this question right here, and it's really cool because it relates to the video, and it's on a really old video which was actually commented on yesterday, which is really cool. Can I get traditional dreads with this sponge? And are your dreads semi-freeform? And it was on this video, how to start dreadlocks. So guys, can you get traditional dreadlocks with a sponge, and was my hair back then semi-freeform, or would I consider it that? Semi-freeform was a very popular thing back when I started my first set of locks, and it was just a thing to where we would maintain the hair and at the same time not do too much to it. So we called it semi-freeform, which is not really a thing, but that was the only way we could label it because we weren't completely maintaining our hair. We would start it out, or we would maintain it a little bit and then allow it to freely form for, you know, a couple months, up to 6 months, maybe even a year, and then eventually just allowed it to form because the locks were already there. So that's what I would consider semi-freeform, starting the dreadlocks and then allowing them to do whatever they do at that point. And it was a really cool method that I enjoyed, but there were some hiccups in it, which I can explain in another video if you guys want that. But can you start traditional dreadlocks with a sponge? What I would consider traditional dreadlocks is twisting with gel. Some people used to use beeswax. I would not recommend beeswax, but twisting with gel, that is more of the traditional, or the classic style of dreadlocks. Because I know going into dreadlocks for me the first time, that was the only method I knew about. So that's what I would consider traditional, but anybody would call anything traditional depending on who they are. Now traditional dreadlocks are different than what they used to be when I got my first set of locks, and even before that. But you can get dreadlocks with a sponge. I'll just answer it that way. But would you say they would look traditional or very maintained, like twisting with gel dreadlocks? They won't look as maintained at first. It would take a couple of years. Depending on your hair texture, they may be different sizes. Depending on how you do the sponge rubbing, maybe different sizes. And if you want a traditional look, you want them all to look the same size, and a sponge probably isn't your best bet, but you can get pretty close with it. But you guys, that's today's video. Hopefully you really enjoyed it. Hopefully it was very informal to you. That was definitely why I wanted to make this video, and I'm really excited to start this freeform journey and to present it to you guys and keep you guys updated. If you made it through this whole video, make sure to check everything out in the description if you haven't already. DREADLOCKS.com. Also go check out the merch that was released not too long ago, and check out the product of the day, the dread sponge, which I just answered a question on that. So guys, I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys do have an amazing day. Matter of fact, have a great day. Peace out and God bless.